Hey guys, welcome back. It's your favorite game from the Limp, and I have a lovely little preview for you here today of a game that is getting ready to come to Kickstarter. Now, one of the great things about war games is the fact that it gets to teach us a little bit about history that we might not know of. And this game deals with a portion of history that I knew nothing of. I had no idea they did anything like this back in the day. And this has to do with, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this, but the Motoscafi Armati Surlante, also known as La Decima or Xmas. I really love that. They were known as Xmas. And basically, these were Italian commando frogmen who would engage in naval activities to combat their opponents, and they would have these small little submersible submarines that they would pilot in, a couple of guys, and they would sneak their way to some enemy harbor where they would attack their enemies' naval ships, their shipping, their cargo ships. These things were basically manned torpedoes that they would use to attack their enemy. And this is something that I had never heard about prior to actually getting this game. And that's the great thing about wargaming, is that we get to experience stuff like this and learn these little bits of history that we had never heard about before. So let's go ahead and take a look here and see some of the aspects of this game that's getting ready to come to Kickstarter by DVG, by David Thompson, having to do with these manned Italian torpedoes during World War II. Here we see an overview of the game board itself, in which you will control your manned torpedoes, known as SLCs in this game, and you will pilot them towards the enemy harbor in which you're trying to destroy their naval vessels. Just like most DVG games, there will be an easy sequence of play to follow, and in this game that will start with your fault check phase, move on to your SLC phase where you'll perform your actions. Then the harbor defenses will get a chance to act, and then you'll follow it up with a cleanup phase. During the fault check phase of the game, you will use what's known as the SLC die to randomly determine which of your SLCs potentially has a mechanical fault. And then you will use your skills to make skill checks to hopefully overcome those faults before they damage your equipment and potentially endanger your mission. These mechanical faults can include everything from the gear that your crew is wearing, the SLC itself, or even the warhead that they're carrying. When it comes to the SLC phase, this is when you're going to perform your actions in your attempt to take out the enemy ships. You can see from the SLC sheet on the screen now that you can keep track of your different crew members, their skills, their equipment, and even the status of your manned torpedo itself. You'll use these skills listed down like pilot, ops, repair, and stamina when conducting your skill checks to determine if you succeed, and using the tokens listed down, you'll either add or remove them when you have faults happen to your manned torpedo. During the phase itself, there's a multitude of different actions that your SLCs can take as they move against the enemy forces. There's multiple different types of move actions you can take. You can also change the direction of your SLC, as these counters are directional and the direction that they're facing matters. You can then submerge your SLC to try to prevent it from being detected as easily by the harbor defense forces. And many other actions, from recovering, repairing, evading capture nets, or even attaching the warhead to the enemy ships. You'll continue taking actions one or two at a time. You can spend one action point for a chance to succeed, or 2 action points for a guaranteed success. You'll continue taking actions with each of your SLCs until they have each spent their 2 action points, completing your SLC phase. The harbor isn't defenseless though. During the harbor defense phase, its defenses will come into play, trying to stop your torpedoes from reaching their intended targets. The harbor itself has multiple different types of defenses, things ranging from searchlights, which will attempt to detect your torpedoes, to patrol craft that will patrol the area, which will try to move in against your torpedoes and try to sink them. Other patrol craft in the area can also move up against any of your torpedoes that have been detected. And the game even has a campaign system in which the harbor defenses will become more difficult the more successful you are at sinking enemy ships, and things like underwater dive teams or shore-based mortar will be added into later games. Your ultimate goal is to work your SLCs up to the harbor itself, hopefully have them work through the torpedo netting at the entrance to the harbor, and then finally reach their target ship, get up against the target ship, deploy their warhead, and then hopefully at the end of it destroy the enemy ship while scuttling their own torpedo and then having the crew successfully escape so they can live to fight another day. By Stealth and Sea will be launching on Kickstarter at the end of February and will be published by DVG Games. If you want more information, feel free to check out the DVG Facebook page or my own channel, TheGimpyGamer, where I'll be featuring some videos of an actual playthrough of the game in action. Hope to see you all there.